This is the puzzle. It is white to play and win. This puzzle was composed by Stefan Nielsen in a competition and it won the special prize in that competition. The author of this puzzle claims that this is a study that no one can solve. So here goes white to play. Can you find the continuation here for white to win this? You can pause the video and try to calculate the best moves for white and black. And once you finish your calculation, you can play through the rest of the video and see how close you were to the actual solution. You can pause now. I'm going to explain the solution now. Basically, the first thing we should understand here is black's threat. What is black's threat? White king is stuck over there, but what is black threatening actually? He's threatening knight f8 and rook h2. That is the problem in the position. Now that we are aware of that, we have to do something quickly to stop that and make counter threats. Otherwise, this will happen in a flash. And we cannot be passive as well. If you play normal move like queen e1, they'll go ahead with their plan. And then if you try and stop rook h2, knight g4 comes in. Rook h2 will anyway happen. So defending is not an option. So let's go back. The way to create counter threats here is bishop takes c4, threatening d6. If black makes a normal move, let's say queen a1, then d6 leads to mate. Can you see it? d6, it just mate. Knight blocks and bishop takes checkmate. So this is the threat, which means black will play queen c3, stopping d6 because in the bishop hands, and opening up an attack on our king. So he's threatening any knight move now. So it's very important that we defend our bishop and stop this threat, the discovered check threat. And how do we do it? We do it with a very resourceful multi-purpose move, queen f1, defending the bishop. And if the knight moves, then we just play bishop e5 and it's made for him in a few moves. He loses the queen first of all. He's only got, let's say, king e7 and then d6 is mate. Queen f1 is the move that keeps things together and makes threats. So what will black do now? Black will try to go ahead with his plan of rook h2 and knight f8. So let's say he goes knight f8. Now how do you stop it? Instead of knight f8, if he goes rook h2 first, we can play g4, attacking the rook. So he goes knight f8. Now comes a beautiful move, bishop to d2. What is the point? If queen takes, then there's mate over here. The queen can't take. And if rook takes, it was a distraction. We take on b7. The rook moved away. Now rook b7 comes and it's almost mate. Rook d7, the king has to go to e8 and we can actually win this easily by just taking on f6. All the threats are gone. King will get out. So after bishop d2, black cannot take. So black will play queen e5. Again making a counter threat on our rook. Now what can we do? Now we can see that our bishop is free to give the check. So pawn d6 check. Now knight e6 is the only block. What's our next move? We just take, queen takes, and then pawn d7. Black's only source of counterplay is rook take bishop and rook h2, right? Because the queen is stuck to defending the knight, and there's a pin. Now you see the point of queen f1. Black's pieces are tied down over here. So black would go rook d2, and now comes a very important move. Can you find out the last move of this puzzle? White plays not queen, because if you queen, rook h2 check is mate. It's game over. So you can't do that. So what do? We under promote to a knight. And now black is just completely lost. You can take the knight, but then it's a winning position for us. We are up by an exchange, and this knight would fall next move. For example, king e7, we just take. Just king g7 and we win. So what a nice puzzle. It all started with bishop c4, and then with every move there were threats and counter threats. And it all ended with a nice under promotion to a knight. So if you calculated some of these moves or most of these moves, good. If not, still good. I hope you enjoyed this puzzle. Stay tuned for more.